Come on in, come one, come all. Happy holidays. It is Wednesday, December the 15th, 2021. I am, of course, James. You are you. We are here for another festive episode of Yuletide Joy right here on twitch.tv/@home-with-James. I want to start this night off with a bit of good news and, of course, a bit of bad news. The good news is that after some controversial opinions the other night, most notably from Dave Kaufman, who announced that I had COVID-19 prior to ever being tested, I'm happy to announce that I, in fact, do not have COVID-19. The bad news is I am, as the kids say, sick as a dog. The worst cold that I've had in years and years and years. But this goes to show what you, the viewers, the audience, the fan base, mean to me. I could have kept napping on my couch, waking up in a foggy haze, but no. I picked up my rattled carcass, splashed some water on my face, blew my nose into multiple Vicks, Puffs, Kleenexes, and got myself ready. Now I can see in the chat, according to Devin, he writes, quote, "Heads up, everyone. James sounds weird. Don't tell him I said that." Apparently, Devin doesn't know that I can read the chat. I also have come to know that he's been drinking Mike's hard eggnog again, which I assume is spiked eggnog. What are we doing on tonight's show? Here's the thing. We have been doing episode after episode, installment after installment of holiday specials. We lit the tree. We've done so many things. And tonight is one that I have been waiting for anxiously. Now, I've announced for this upcoming Monday, it's the Holiday Sweets and Treats panel. But tonight, we're going to dig deep into one of my true personal interests. Anyone who knows me knows that I love Christmas music. Despite my crusty exterior and my harsh voice, I love the warm vocals and sounds of Christmas music. And tonight, I have put together a panel of music guys to break down what we like, what we don't like, what is over and what is underrated, among other things. So the question you might be asking yourself is, James, why are you vamping? Why wait? Why don't you open the gates and let the guests out? And to you, I say, that's good advice. Please welcome tonight's Christmas music panel. Gentlemen, so nice to see all of you again. We begin. Mr. Thomas Barnwell, welcome back to the show. I hope that we are on good terms.
I believe we are.
Well, okay, we'll leave that there.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. Jason Grimmer, welcome back to the show.
Hey, man. Congrats on the COVID, not having COVID.
You know, it's a humbling day for me. And from one person receiving a congratulatory message, I give one to you, the 2021 winner of Montreal Improv's 3PO season. Jason, congratulations to you too. It's been a long time coming.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. And thanks for that horn, whoever's on tech.
Well, speaking of whoever's on tech, it is the man who is also joining us tonight, who was not originally supposed to be here. In fact, he had insisted that he would just tech tonight's show. It's Dave Kaufman. Dave, how are you feeling tonight?
Pretty good.
Well, let's get into it. I have brought this super team of mega powers together to discuss Christmas music. This is a wide open discussion. I will guide it as I see fit. But again, it's pretty wide open. We're going to start pretty generally speaking here.
James,
Thomas,
can I just interrupt for a second, if you don't mind?
Of course you can.
I feel like I should maybe bring in some mood ambiance music, sort of in the background of this episode, since we're talking about music. Why don't we play some?
Well, for someone who wasn't supposed to be here, Dave, I think that's a great idea.
All right. Well, I got a no copyright instrumental Christmas song YouTube video.
No need to break the bank. That's good.
That's the best type of music we can listen to tonight, because it means this episode will not be scrubbed off of our video on demand.
So I'll put that on, and go ahead, carry on with your questions.
Well, great. Let's start nice and simple. Thomas, we begin with you. How much do you like Christmas music?
Well, in all categories, like country and western Christmas, or
Yeah, we're just gonna go general terms. Christmas music globally.
Okay, well, I guess in popular music, it's got a fairly limited appeal. So
Yeah, we're not gonna be listening to it in June, I suspect.
right, and we're not going to be listening to all of it in December. So
This is true, and I can't wait to touch on that later. You are tickling my curiosity. Jason, we go to you now. Do you like Christmas music?
I do like Christmas music. I like it for the season. I do look forward to it, and I enjoy it during the season. I get very tired of it by the end, but that's part of the whole thing.
Well, see, now this is interesting. Prior to going on air, you said you started last week. I've been going since mid to late November.
No, I started 2 days ago. I just put a record on.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's, to me, that would be a late start.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. I mean, I think we're also going away for the holidays, so we're spending our Christmas with family in New Brunswick. So I think we're kind of like saving it, maybe. is the
Okay.
case as well. We
All
don't
right.
have a tree or anything like that, so it's weird.
All
So I
right.
think,
Well, that's an answer that's good enough for me. Dave, we round out this opening question with you. Dave, do you like Christmas music?
Yeah, I think I do. I start generally every year when you put it on to 92.9 in my car, and I don't change the station. And I always enjoy it. It's pretty relaxing.
All right. So this is a great start. This truly means that I've booked this show to perfection because we're all generally on the same page here. Jason, I want to go to you. What are some of your favorite Christmas songs?
I'm a traditionalist, so I like a lot of the sort of like heavy hitters. I like Bing Crosby's White Christmas. I love the Vince Guaraldi, Charlie Brown music. I think is like pretty much the apex of Christmas music, in that it doesn't have too much of a lyrical overload. I'm not a huge fan of novelty. I guess we'll get into that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll get into that during our what do we dislike in Christmas music.
So I like a lot of renditions. I think a lot of people, when they're doing this sort of traditional songs, if they can capture that kind of sort of haunting, calming, spiritual atmosphere that Christmas music sort of thrives on, then I'm usually on board.
All right. Good answer. Thomas, we go to you. What are some of your favorites?
I like the choices that Jason made. Those are good. I also like the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting by
By who?
Nat King Cole.
Of course, Nat King Cole,
Yep.
classic right there.
And Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Judy Garland. It's
Yep.
Heartbreaker. But
All right. Those are very good picks. What else, Thomas? Put you on
I
the hot
guess-
seat here.
What's that?
I'm putting you on the holiday hot seat.
Okay. And then I guess more traditional songs like, Oh Come All Ye Faithful. I guess they're sort of vaguely hymns or
Yeah. I like the hymn ones. I like
Yeah.
those an awful lot.
God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
Fantastic pick. Okay, look, I feel like there's going to be a lot of agreement tonight. Unless Dave gives us some shocking choices here. Dave, some of your favorites.
I've got a couple of standards, and then one that this next choice might shock you at the end. So I'm in agreement. Charlie Brown, that's the GOAT. You put on that whole album back to front.
Sure.
It's awesome. Then you got to include Mariah Carey's hit.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. Now, Dave, earlier on you mentioned off air, I'm not good with song titles, quote.
Yeah.
So I might be filling in the gaps for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did have the whole turn in front of me to think of it, but I couldn't remember the title. Then, there was one in my head just now. Oh Holy Night. That one's a good one. And this is my controversial take. It's sort of an anti-Christmas song. But when I was a kid, I had a Weird Al cassette. And on that Weird Al cassette was the song called "The Night Santa Went Crazy" about Santa Claus going postal one night and shooting up people.
Well, I think this speaks to what Jason mentioned earlier. Jason, you said you're not interested in novelty Christmas songs.
No, I mean, I think also the fact that Dave's a big Weird Al fan, pretty much, it's pretty noticeable.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I was when I was a kid. I was a big Weird Al fan. I had a couple of cassettes.
Yeah.
Back
well,
when
anyway,
he,
I'm not trying to paint you with
Coolio.
a huge brush, but you're bringing up Weird Al, so we'll talk about it a bit.
No, I don't
like.
Instead of Gangster's Paradise, you did Amish Paradise.
Well, now, Dave,
Yeah,
remember, this is a Christmas music discussion here. Now, you're veering away into his
He's
other...
just giving context about the fact that Weird Al takes popular songs and then turns them into funny songs.
Correct.
Because people out there
Exactly.
didn't know.
Although The Night Santa Went Crazy was an original. He does some originals.
He did do that as well.
Yeah.
I get bored with them. They get played to death. I don't find them particularly funny. So I don't enjoy them at all.
Now, Thomas, you're nodding. How do you feel about novelty Christmas songs? And what does it mean to be a novelty Christmas song?
I guess it's a song that's meant to be more funny than, meant to sing along with. So like the Chipmunk song, I hate that.
Yeah.
But even some I hate Bruce Springsteen's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Now that is the first controversial Christmas opinion of the night. Now, what do you dislike? Now, I love that one, Thomas.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I want to know what you is it the fact that he's laughing throughout the song?
Yeah, the whole shtick, he's talking to the big man and all that
Yep.
nonsense. It's like,
How's that go?
Santa Claus is coming to town. Well, first he starts by being like, Santa Claus is coming to town.
what day is it? What day is it?
Yeah.
It's Christmas Day. You guys have been good. Oh, that's not many. You guys are in trouble out there.
I mean, I get why Thomas has problems with that. Bruce Springsteen's whole thing is just like, we're all in a nightclub and I'm going to get you guys all excited. And it's just like him just pulling the weight with a lot of yelling.
Now, I like his cover of Merry Christmas, Babe. That's featured on the A Very Special Christmas for You album, which I also think is a good cover, but it's secondary to the one that Thomas hates, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Now, on the subject of novelty songs, are the three of you familiar with Lou Monte's song, Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey?
I mean, vaguely. I tried to avoid it.
Thomas, how do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I don't really know too much, but it was pretty popular in New York, I think.
New York.
Why?
Well, I'm gonna guess
donkey that goes from Brooklyn to Italy. Or
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I don't know.
big Italian community as well.
So.
Now,
But
Dave,
that kind of stuff is nonsense, I think.
okay, well, let's. I want to keep, because now this is our first veer away, which I love. What else fits into the novelty Christmas song category, Jason?
Well, I mean,
With
the
the big
Beatles
prop.
of that is Grandma just got run over by a reindeer. I mean, that's
Sure,
sort of the key one, right? And that song's awful. And it reminds me of growing up in a rural community and also about why I wanted to leave. It's just that sort of like half chuckle that people share. It's like barely a joke, but then it's just hammered home forever.
I got a question.
A lot like my uncles.
All right, well, Dave, let's go to you. Novelty Christmas songs.
What do you think of I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus? Is that a novelty song?
I was
or is
about to
that
ask the exact same question.
Is that a song? How novel is it?
I think it treads a line because it's actually kind of a smart song and also maybe predates a lot of novelty songs. It's also been done by people that have made it into a really good song. I would put that in the par with Jingle Ball Rock, which I would not consider a novelty song, even though you could make an argument that it is.
Interesting. Because I like that song.
I do
also
too.
like that song. The Jackson 5 version is quite nice. Now, on the same topic of that, is Santa Baby a novelty song?
By Eartha Kitt or by, it depends who's doing it.
Well, Madonna also did a cover as well. But
Then a novelty song by Madonna, yes.
So what differentiates the Eartha Kitt and Madonna?
Soul.
Who's the one that has the really high-pitched voice?
Eartha Kitt.
There you go.
Well, Madonna's is pretty. Hers. I want to touch on what you mentioned, Jason. Soul, right? Madonna's is meant to be sung a little bit more cheekily. I think.
I think Madonna's is more meant to expedite a paycheck to a bank account.
Yeah. Santa baby, put some sable
it's gross.
under.
I hate it.
Yeah, you know what? I would say that I'm not a huge fan of that cover. Thomas, how do you feel about Santa Baby, the Madonna version?
I'm not a Madonna fan, period. And
Right?
No.
But how about Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys? Is that a
great choice for the novelty category.
Is that
that's one that
reindeer?
Now, Dave, are you introducing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer while we're talking about the Beach Boys' Little Saint Nick?
No, don't the Beach Boys do one where they go, "Run, run, reindeer"?
That's
the one. That's my mistake. Now,
I think that you're doing, and this is really, I think Madonna's talented, but if we're talking about talent involving singing, the Beach Boys have her beat, so I think that one works better.
I find that song becomes increasingly more grating as the holidays go along.
Yeah, I have a particular song that I absolutely despise. That's a very, very prevalent Christmas song that we'll probably get to at some point. That
all right,
fits into that as well.
I like this novelty song. So, what about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Is that a novelty song?
I mean, that's an OG novelty song.
Okay, so if it's first generation, it's fine.
It's in the spirit of what's going. It's not a morning DJ's. Hey, we're talking to Jerry the janitor, and now we got Grandma got run over by a reindeer. It's not. There's something soulful about it. There's something with some sort of like a weight of history on it, as opposed to something that's a cash in.
All right. Well,
and who did Rudolph first? Was it Gene Autry? Who did it first?
Yeah, I think Gene Autry.
Is it even a novelty song though? I feel like it's just sort of a.
It is. It's not. If you're looking at not a traditional kind of like the spirit of Christmas.
Right. It's not a.
Well, then
I have a religiosity to it.
Frosty the Snowman would fall into that category too.
Exactly. But there's no more Frosty the Snowman's being written these days.
But these aren't jokes, I guess. That's sort of where I demarcate the barrier.
They're written for children
pleasant
as well, right? So that's a difference.
Of Christmas.
Children thing,
lore.
All right, now I want to move over. This is the big one. Christmas songs that you hate. Dave, let's go to you first. You're a guy who's got a lot of grudges.
You might need to come back to me. I'm trying. I need a couple.
Well, this is fair. You weren't originally scheduled to be on this show, so I understand. Thomas, let's go to you. Songs that you hate. Now, you mentioned the Alvin and the Chipmunks earlier, the hula hoop song.
Dave mentioned "Oh Holy Night" by Mariah Carey, and I absolutely hate that.
No, not by Mariah Carey.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen her do a version on.
I believe that was part of her Christmas album that also featured the "All I Want for Christmas Is You" smash it.
I just like the "All I Want for Christmas" one.
Okay.
But that song stinks.
"Wonderful Christmas Time" by Paul McCartney. I find that annoying.
Now we got to get into this one. This appears on multiple lists as the worst Christmas song of all time. Jason, where do you land on "Wonderful Christmas Time"? I quite like it.
It's not only the worst Christmas song of all time; it might be the worst song of all time.
Now, what makes it the worst song of all time?
I think it makes itself clear when you listen to it. It's just like that incessant jingle, and then just kind of this barely there melody done by a practitioner who's like very talented and should know better. I mean, if you're going to make a song worse than that John Lennon "Merry Christmas, the War Is Over," then that's the goal. Then they've achieved it. It's a horrible song. It's horrible.
Okay, Dave, where do you land on "Wonderful Christmas Time"?
You know what? I don't hate it. But
it's not great.
I only want to listen to it maybe once a season. I
almost
hear it
ruins
once.
Christmas for me.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the first controversial Christmas opinion of the night. Now, I want to circle back over to Thomas. Other Christmas songs you can't stand.
This I don't the one by Greg Lake, "I Believe in Father Christmas."
I don't know that. That's
I have a vague idea of this one.
That one I find annoying. It's
well, because there are some that are very, very grating, very grating.
But Jason, you know that one, or
I mean, I think I know it. I'm sure I've heard it, but I think it's funny that Greg Lake was brought into the conversation.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's got to be horrible. I don't know if I've heard it.
I'm sure you've heard it. It's like over dramatic, and he borrowed.
Did they write it? Did he write it?
He wrote the words, but he took a tune from Prokofiev's Christmas music and words to it.
Well, there's a lot of those now, Thomas. You mentioned these dramatic Christmas songs. There's a lot of the ones that they provide no holiday cheer. They just make you feel bad. Like there's this Faith Hill song called Where Are You Christmas that I think might be the worst Christmas song. There's also that one, The Christmas Shoes,
which is the one that I was going to bring up. Yeah. The Christmas Shoes is a terrible.
Which I about
that's my least favorite one.
Someone's mother has passed on, or like there's poverty. There's like the ones like now, Jason, you mentioned Happy Christmas, War is Over. You also dislike that song.
I don't dislike it. I just don't think it's that great. It's one of those John Lennon songs that just goes on and on and on. It's like it's a mantra rather than anything else.
Mark David Chapman over here.
Now, Thomas, do you have any other?
That guy's out and doing his own music, Dave. You should tune into it. He's got his band camp.
Thomas, do you have it now that we're going to move away from the Mark David Chapman discussion? Thomas, do you have any other songs that you can't stand?
Well, Must Be Santa by Bob Dylan. We talked about that before.
I like that one.
I don't mind it either.
It's to me, that's a novelty song. I mean, his voice is shot and the video is entertaining, but I don't know.
All right, Jason, let's go to you. Songs that you hate.
I'm not a big fan of the Kinks song, the Kinks
Father
Christmas.
Song.
A big fan of that. One I would juxtapose as better would be Slade's Christmas song, which escapes me the name of it right now. But
is that one I wish it would be Christmas every day, or is that Wizard?
I think so. I also quite like Ramone's Merry Christmas, Baby, I Don't Want to Fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that. I think I don't want to I think I understand why people like Mariah Carey's version, Mariah. It's not her version; it's her song. All I Want for Christmas Is You. But it doesn't bother me. That song doesn't bother me. I can see why people. It's just played too much, I think, is the point.
It's played incessantly, and that I think is that the last Christmas song that entered a new Christmas song that entered into the rotation. I
think so, and it feels like the exuberance of like, oh, we have a new Christmas song that people like has just overloaded the airwaves.
And even though it's not new, it's 30 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy, eh?
It still feels current, though. I think it still has.
Well, there's a couple current ones that have entered now. Dave, you mentioned Star 92.9. I have that channel on all day. It's all Christmas music. They play some new ones that are they sound too sexy. The songs sound like too much like pop hits. And I don't think that's what Christmas is about.
Like who?
Justin Bieber song about like catching a lady like under the mistletoe, and it's really like he's singing it like all cool. There's a couple Kelly Clarkson ones that I really don't like. There's an Ariana Grande one. Again, these songs are mostly about seductive romance, and I don't think that's got a place in Christmas.
Yeah.
So you're more of a nice Christmas guy than a naughty guy.
I don't think it has anything to do with nice. I think it has to do with a feeling of being spirited.
Well, I mean, nice versus being naughty on Christmas.
Well, yeah. Jason is correct. It does have to do with being spirited around Christmas. Dave, what about you? Other songs that you hate?
I'm trying to think. Like, I generally don't like. I'm not a huge fan of like Michael Bublé and his kind of recreation of pretty much every single Christmas song that's ever existed.
He's doing the crooner hits.
Yeah, he's doing the crooner hits, and I just find like, why not just listen to the original? I don't really find that he adds any kind of thing to these songs where
Harry Connick Jr.
Harry Connick Jr. I like more because there's this video where he gets an audience to clap on beat after they're clapping on the off note, and I just found that impressive. So he's good in my book.
All right. Any other songs that you don't like, Dave?
Oh, I'm sure, but I can't think of them.
Well, I want to bring this one up because people are often torn on this one. Last Christmas by Wham.
No. It's another annoying one.
It's a once a year. There's certain songs that like I can handle once a year, and like I'm like okay, but then if I start to hear it a bunch, then it really kind of starts to grate and irritate me.
Well, okay. Why don't we move towards that, right? So that seems to me that it's a perfect segue into our overrated Christmas songs that are maybe played too much that you only need a couple times a year. I'm going to start this one off with Jose Feliciano's Feliz Navidad. Now, I like the song, but I think it's maybe a minute and a half too long. Because there's very little
it's not
substance to that song.
There's not
as,
much
not as
going
good
on.
as this cover of "Light My Fire." That's for sure.
I prefer that song to Feliz Navidad.
It's great.
I also like his Always Something There to Remind Me.
He's great. He's great. I agree. That song's annoying.
All right, but again, now I'm veering off. These are not Christmas songs. Dave, overrated Christmas songs.
Yeah, I've got one, and this one actually I might even hate it, and that's a Little Drummer Boy. Pretty much any rendition of that song just annoys me. There's not much going on. I don't really care about the Little Drummer Boy. He pisses me off. Just like, it's a shell of a song, and it stinks.
Wow.
Is that because of his proximity to Jesus?
Yeah, as a Jew, I despise Jesus.
Wow. Okay, that's another controversial Christmas take tonight. Because, of course, Christmas is the celebration of Jesus' birth. Thomas, let's go to you.
Dave, give Dandy Warhol's version of that song a chance.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Thomas, let's circle over to you.
Overrated songs? Well, this is a classic, and I think it's overrated. Silent Night.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what makes it overrated?
I don't know. I just find it's slow and drony,
And that sounds exactly like Dave's issue with the Little Drummer Boy. It doesn't kick into high gear. It's not like Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
not at all like that.
That song kicks into high gear.
Yeah. When you don't want to go into high gear.
When you don't, I mean, look, this is where we're going to have a fork in the road. Are there others that you find overrated, Mr. Barnwell?
I think Do You Hear What I Hear is another classic.
That's a good pick. That is a good, I like the Mariah Carey version because she's a fantastic vocalist.
Yeah, well, I just a thought about your dislike of the seductive Christmas songs. James, I'm just saying maybe you don't want to discount that one day a year.
All right, well.
You'll never get out of your dry spell, that's all.
You're right.
I want to just mention something.
Yep.
Happy Christmas War is Over.
We've discussed that.
No, I know, but there's an even worse version of that.
I know who you're talking about.
By Maroon 5.
Wait, Well, Sarah McLachlan also has a version.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't mind the John Lennon version. I don't mind it. It's overplayed.
John Lennon's is decent. Sorry to interrupt. But, Maroon 5, I don't know. I can't get on board with that.
Celine Dion also has a version.
I feel like she probably pulls it off. I don't know if I know it.
Well, I just think it's not a fun song. It's not a fun song.
Well, that's the thing. You bring up Little Drummer Boy. And what was the one you brought up, Thomas, that you didn't?
Silent.
Sound like those are like. I mean, I think they can be done well, and maybe a Silent Night particularly would be good, and maybe like a midnight mass. But it's like so overwrought and so like those are so like can you feel the power of Christmas?
Yeah.
They become tiresome after a while, and there's got to be an element of I think wistfulness and like a sort of a magical feel is nice.
Yeah.
That's better handled by someone like this gentleman.
Oh, Mr. Martin, as we call him on the show.
Yeah. See, I think this guy gets it. He's boozed up, and these are some nice songs.
His cover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is quite interesting because he starts singing in a German accent at one point.
Yeah, because he's probably drunk.
He's also calling him Rudy the Red-Beaked Reindeer at one point. So
I'm sure Frank and the boys thought that was hilarious.
Now, Jason, what songs do you believe to be overrated?
I think we dealt with most of them, right? I think like, I'll tell you right now. I think the Band-Aid song, overrated.
Now, this was going to be a surprise.
Actually, not overrated, kind of bad. Frankly, bad.
I was going to bring this up as an entire subject to discuss. The three countries that did songs of that ilk, we had Canada, the United States, and England. So we'll start with Do They Know It's Christmas Time? The British supergroup.
I mean,
What's the question?
Well, your thoughts on it.
Okay.
I think it caused Brexit.
Now we've got Jason's answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dave,
that song sucks.
You think it sucks?
I think it sucks. I don't I feel like I don't need to be preached to about charity by a bunch of celebrities.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
For that purpose, I think it stinks and I don't like it.
Okay, but Thomas, let's go to you. Do they know it's Christmas time?
I don't mind it, but I do agree with that. I don't like being preached to. But I thought, do they know it's Christmas? I thought that was American and English singers.
Is there an American version? Because when I think of the American version, I think of "We Are the World," which I don't.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Sorry.
Wait, what's the Isn't that the Canadian version?
No, the Canadian version is it called Northern Lights?
Yeah, but what's the song called?
Northern Lights and Beaver Tails.
The thing about "Do They Know It's Christmas?" It's so patronizing. Like, of course they know it's Christmas.
Now, the Canadian version is called "Tears Are Not Enough."
Right, but those aren't specifically Christmas, though. It's really just "Do They Know the Christmas?" The Band-Aid version. That's the Christmas.
Now, does "Tears Are Not Enough" have no Christmas undertones?
No, other than it makes me sad, just like Christmas does sometimes.
Well, you're right. I guess it's a good thing that we only really discussed "Do They Know It's Christmas Time," as the other two songs don't have overt Christmas themes or undertones.
Mm-hmm.
But a great music video in the Canadian version.
Agreed on that. Lots of fun.
All right, well, let's skip over underrated Christmas songs, ones that we like that maybe a lot of people don't know. Mr. David Kaufman, floor is yours.
I mean, I was just thinking of John Denver's "Please Daddy Don't Get Drunk on Christmas," but that's not a good song. It's not
underrated though?
It's underrated in the sense that it's a hilarious title and theme for a song. But it's overrated in the sense
sounds like a novelty song. There's also another song of that ilk.
There's nothing funny about that song, James.
Well, there's also one called "Christmas in Jail." There's another kind of redneck novelty song called "Christmas in Jail."
Yeah.
What would you list as an actual underrated song, Dave? Or excuse me, yes, that's correct, underrated.
Damn. My quick recollection of songs isn't good. Well, Get to me later. I'm going to think about it.
And Dave, you weren't supposed to be on the show. Thomas, let's go to you. Songs that you like that maybe other people aren't so hot to trot on.
Well, it's already come up. I like the Kinks' "Father Christmas."
I also like that song.
And
we finally found a bridge between us.
And another one is "Christmas Must Be Tonight" by the band.
Oh, now I don't know this one, but I do.
You don't hear it. You don't hear it too often, but I think it's a good song. Yeah.
That's that. I'm gonna write.
Band or a group that could handle a Christmas song for sure. They've got that thing going for them.
Well, now, Jason, what about you? Underrated.
Underrated Christmas songs? Man, that's hard to say. I don't know if I've got any. Oh, I'm going to say. I'm going to say a song that I don't think would be something that would end up being something that played every year, but kind of is a Christmas song, and maybe plays to more about my tastes. But Big Star's "Jesus Christ."
Okay, I don't know that one either.
Yeah, no one really would. It wouldn't be a regular one, but it's basically Jesus Christ was born today. That's the song.
I'm going to throw one in here. The Bryan Adams song, "Something About Christmas Time."
What's the chorus?
Something about Christmas time, something about Christmas time makes you wish it was Christmas every day. That one?
Like
in the summer of 69.
It quickly veers into summer of 69. Yeah.
That sounds like a Christmas song that was written in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It was, I believe you recorded. There's also on the other side of the album, it's Reggae Christmas, which me and Dave, we were watching the video at his old apartment. I'm also going to throw this in here as a Caribbean Christmas hits covers. Me and Dave discovered Caribbean Christmas music. It was awesome.
Extremely underrated. Those are the most delightful Christmas songs.
A lot of steel drums.
A lot of steel drums, all very positive. They all have a
very
nice groove.
Positive. Yeah, they're not weighing you down with sadness.
No, it's really a good time listening to that.
I've listened to a few like steel drums sort of Caribbean cover albums, and they generally do deliver on that front of just kind of being like a joyous, enjoyable sort of music.
Yeah, you can put that on in a day, make a nice Christmas meal, and like kind of groove along to it, you know.
Yeah, good afternoon Christmas music. Exactly. Now, I want to throw another one in here. I think this one's also underrated, probably underknown. It's this band Vance and the Valiants, and they have this song called All I Want for Christmas Is You, not to be confused with the Mariah Carey version. Pretty good Christmas song.
Is it like a punk rock version?
No, it's not the same song at all. In fact, I believe this song...
Mariah Carey's is not punk rock.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But they are not... They just have the same title. They're not the same song. Different lyrics.
Yeah, no, I get that. But is it like a kind of a... Oh, sorry, I said version. You're right. But is it like a sort of a punk rock approach?
No, it's like a smooth, kind of like a song that you'd hear at a diner.
Man, you know, did Sade ever do a Christmas song? Because she'd be good.
Now, I could see that working. But look, I want to throw also in... Please Come Home for Christmas. Any of the versions I like.
I like that stuff. I like that.
Yeah.
Who did those? Who did what are those? Who did those?
I would say that my favorite one is the Eagles version.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
We're getting in from the chat, underrated from Naive Adventures, Ave Maria by Sarah Brightman.
Ave Maria is a very, a classic Christmas song, but I think I don't know Brightman's version, but it's another one of those really earnest, over-the-top songs that may be better served for a midnight mass.
Yes, that's true.
Well, I want to talk about midnight mass music in a second. I'm going to throw another underrated version in, featuring the man who's creepily looking over Dave's shoulder. It's Bing Crosby's Christmas in Killarney.
A song I would normally hate, but love Bing Crosby's Christmas album, so I'm totally fine with it. But it is a lesser on the record, I think, for sure.
Yes, we have the same record.
I have that record too.
Amazing. Maybe in a lot of ways kind of the Christmas record, maybe. But that song...
Well, look, if we're talking about the Christmas...
It's the Revolution number 9 of the album.
Yeah, the Revolution 9 of the album, of course. Now, we have not touched on the Phil Spector Christmas album at all.
Got that.
I also have it. Now, now, Jason, yours is a different cover than mine.
Yeah, this one's a real wholesome one.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot anybody on that one.
Yeah, that was the non-shooting version. Now, how do we feel about that album? Thomas, let's go to you.
It's okay. I mean,
that's another controversial Christmas take as far as only okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't like the Darlene Love version of Please Be Home at Christmas or something. That's not on there, right?
Yeah, I believe it is. I think that song is just called Christmas, Baby, Please Come Home.
Yeah.
That might
Which
be
is the one the Ramones did, right? The Ramones covered that one?
Yeah.
That might be my number one.
But you're talking about Bing Crosby earlier. You neglected to mention his Hawaiian Christmas song, Mele Kalikimaka.
Oh, God. Yes. Again, he gets by on that one. It's enjoyable. But it's terrible.
Dave, thoughts? What do you think about the Phil Spector album?
I love the Phil Spector album. And actually, one year I did spend Christmas in Hawaii. And they played that song at this sort of event that I went to. And it was quite nice.
Well, all right. It sounds like we finally come to a consensus, even though Thomas only finds the album, quote, okay.
I mean, I understand what Thomas is saying. First of all, I think it's a top 3 Christmas album. I think those
What's
songs
the
are great.
Trinity? What's the Trinity?
But hold on. Let me just speak to this for a second. It's a Phil Spector album. Phil Spector did singles. They were not really meant to be listened to one after another.
Sure.
They're huge, bombastic songs. So it can be a bit mind-numbing, which I'm sure you realize.
I agree with that.
Over an album, because it's like bang, 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 bang. But they are, I love several songs on that. I would be with you as far as that. Is it the Crystals doing? Is this? I saw. Which one did they do?
Oh yeah. Well, who else? There's the Ronettes on there.
Frosty the Snowman by the Ronettes. You've got. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by the Ronettes. Rudolph by the Crystals. Santa Claus is Coming to Town by the Crystals. I mean, that's a key. I would say if you're going to pull a song off that album, it's that one.
Not to be outdone by Bruce Springsteen's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah, the blue collar mix.
Yeah. Now, do we have any other underrated Christmas songs, Dave? We never really got to you.
Well, I was gonna double down on your Caribbean Christmas, but I did pull up an article actually of from the Independent of the top 10 most underrated Christmas songs.
Let's hear them.
I can go through them real quick. Some of them I don't even know. Just Like Christmas by Low. Anybody know that one?
No.
Yes, I do. Low put out a Christmas album. It's a really nice thing, but it's a very kind of its sort of thing. It's very serene. That band's a very quiet band.
Sister Winter by Sufjan Stevens.
That's immediately going to be a no for me.
Can't stand that guy.
Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight by the Ramones. We
That's so I love it.
mentioned that. I Was Born Christmas Day by Saint Etienne.
I've heard
Just
it.
that name is immediate no.
Driving Under Stars by Marika Hackman.
Don't know. Is
How
that
to
Gene
Make-
Hackman's daughter?
Mother. How to Make Gravy by Paul Kelly.
I'm going to listen to that one. A song about Christmas gravy? Yeah.
Here's a
I
weird
predict this.
here's a weird addition to the list. I Want to Be Your Dog by the Stooges. Largely
Why is that on there?
uncredited as a great Christmas song, despite its insane quantities of sleigh bells. So I guess just because
That might be my favorite Christmas song then, if that's considered a Christmas song.
Mary Did You Know by CeeLo Green.
That one's going to be, I don't like any version of that one.
Christmas Lights
Like
by...
CeeLo Green.
You don't know CeeLo?
I don't like him.
You must not have heard Gnarls Barkley.
I like Crazy. That's a good song.
Yeah. Christmas Lights by Coldplay.
No thanks.
And 25th of December by Everything But the Girl.
I don't think I've heard that. Not a big fan of theirs, but I have friends who are huge fans. So I'm sure
This is why people don't trust the media anymore.
I want
that sounds like it's a British list. That's
Yeah.
a
I want the gravy song. That's what I want. Now, I want to talk about another underrated song that doesn't get a lot of airtime. What about Joni Mitchell, River?
Is it a Christmas song? That's
yeah.
Well, this
It's
is
like the
discussion.
diehard of Christmas songs.
Yes,
right.
it's got bells. She sings about Christmas. She sings about skating. Right? If we're gonna, if that's not a Christmas song, is Winter Wonderland a Christmas song? They don't talk
Is
about
it
Christmas.
catchy? Would you consider that song catchy, James?
Is River by Joni Mitchell catchy? I would say it is not a catchy song.
And
but it is
that's your
good.
answer. That's why.
You don't need a catchy. You don't need to be catchy to be a Christmas song.
Really?
Yeah.
What's a
Holy Night's
non-catchy?
not catchy.
Those are
Right.
hymnal.
Sorry.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Jason's going full Chapman right here.
Yeah.
So, guys,
Hey, I'm not.
just check out his Bandcamp.
Is Joni Mitchell in danger?
Yeah. Jason, do you have any answers for us, or should we say Chapman?
I've said too much.
Now, now we were talking about this earlier. Midnight Mass. Has anyone gone to Midnight Mass? Because I have. I don't recall it being at midnight, but I've gone.
Yeah,
I'm raised Catholic. I went to it all the time.
me too.
David, did you go to Midnight Mass on your?
When
your
I was
side?
when I was a kid, yeah, I went a couple of times in Granby. In the town
Now
of
was
Granby.
there? Oh, well, those hymns would have been French then.
I don't recall, but I think it's a pretty big English community where like at the place that we went.
All right. Now,
Is that at the zoo?
No, it's not at
Wow.
the zoo, Thomas.
now, Thomas and Dave have got tension. There's been tension with all the different combinations tonight. Me and Jason, Dave and Jason, me and Thomas, Thomas and Dave. The only thing left is me and Dave and
Yeah.
Thomas and Jason.
I don't know what the tension is.
Okay, calm down, Chapman. All right, now, how do we feel about the Midnight Mass music? It's haunting. It's very haunting.
I like it.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, Thomas, do you go to Midnight Mass every year?
No. Well, first of all, they don't do mass at midnight anymore. The latest you can get mass is like 10 p.m.
I can get you
Okay.
some mass at midnight.
What was that?
Yeah.
If you need a connection for some midnight mass, I can get you some mass at midnight.
Okay.
Dave, let's just relax right now. You weren't supposed to be on the show tonight. Now, Thomas, I want to know, what if you went, are you planning on going to Mass this year?
Yeah.
What if at the end, they're like, we've got a special guest. This was not supposed to happen, but I want everyone in the congregation, please welcome the one and only boss himself, Mr. Bruce Springsteen. And then he comes out, he's like, you guys all been good out there? You've been wearing your masks real hard.
Looks like I'm 2 hours early, but okay.
You guys are in trouble out there. And then he kicks in. Well, you better watch out. You better not cry. And then he notices you're not into it. And he brings it. Oh, we got a naughty customer and they bring you on stage. You got to sing "Santa Claus is Coming to Town," the pride of New Jersey.
I'm not doing it.
We're not gonna get on stage and sing "Santa Claus is Coming to Town" with Bruce.
This is a bonkers scenario, by the way.
I'm converting. I'm becoming.
Dave, you're getting another one in your ranks.
Yeah.
Mazel tov.
But then what if you guys are at like a Hanukkah event? It's like, guys, we got a big guest tonight. It's Bruce Springsteen.
And I thought you were going to say Weird
Shalom,
Al.
everybody.
Yeah, it's Weird Al gets bumped for Bruce Springsteen. Now, Jason, what would you think about that? If you're a guy like you, a Chapman like you, is not going to midnight mass. You're a troubled individual.
Yeah.
What if Bruce Springsteen showed up at midnight mass in New Brunswick?
What about it?
Would you get on stage?
Yeah, fucking right, I would. What the
But
hell
you're
about?
not.
What if John Lennon showed up?
What if John Lennon, he wanted to sing that song?
Two birds with one stone, baby.
Now, let's go through this. I think this is a good way to wrap it up. Which artist would you like to do a Christmas duet with? I'm going to go Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh, it's got to be an existing song?
Yeah, it's got to be an existing song. All jokes aside, I think I picked that one because I think I'd be able to actually sing it in a way that wouldn't be off-putting.
Can I go next?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I'd go with Keith Richards, Run Rudolph Run.
Wow. You and Keith, the duo we didn't know that we wanted, and now we don't know that we need it.
I'm sure I could match him vocally. That's the only reason. So.
All right, so you and I are on the same wavelength here. Dave, what about you?
I was going to ask if I could go next.
Yeah, okay.
I would go. I would do a duet with Mariah Carey.
You're gonna sing "All I Want for Christmas Is You"?
Yeah.
That would be the last time she ever performs that song.
I disagree.
All right, Jason, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Barbra Streisand's version of Jingle Bells. That sort of like fast-paced sort of like jingle, jingle. You know how it's. I can't even do it now. I have to practice it.
Did she scat in that song?
Yeah.
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 Jingle bell, jingle, jingle all the way. I love that. Well, I could get into that.
Look, we've all got our picks, and I feel like it's only important to go to the flip side of things. Which musical artist would we not want to perform a Christmas song with, and which song is it? Jason, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm probably going to go with...
You're going to go John Lennon.
There's got to be a song I wouldn't do with somebody.
Don't want to do it.
We named a bunch. I don't know. I guess that Paul McCartney piece of garbage.
So you're not going to get on stage with Paul, Sir Paul?
No, I'm also considering becoming a Mark David Chapman for him.
All right. Dave, what about you?
I mean, I can't tell if I would love or hate to get on stage with John Denver and sing "Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk on Christmas."
I think that's a more interesting choice than the choice that you wanted to make, which is you and Mariah Carey.
All right, we'll flip them. I don't want to perform with Mariah, and I do want to perform with John Denver.
All right, Thomas.
And I want to do it now.
All right, well, easy now. Thomas, don't tell me you're picking Bruce Springsteen.
No, I'm gonna go with Mariah Carey, "Oh Holy Night," or
You've really got it out for this version of "Oh Holy Night."
It's awful. I really think it's horrible.
It's awful. Wow.
Did Mariah Carey do you wrong at some point in your life?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
I mean, she's not great.
I think she's fine.
Well,
she's married to Nick Cannon for a while.
I don't want to interject, but we didn't talk about two very important things.
Let's look.
Number one, Elvis Presley's Christmas album.
This is true. There's always omissions. Yeah, the Blue Christmas album. A lot of great songs.
An amazing record and great all the way through. In fact, my girlfriend's favorite Christmas record. We listen to it all the time, and it never gets tired. The guy's a talent. Also, we never talked about David Bowie and Bing Crosby's sort of mashup.
Well, Dave, what do you think about that version?
I mean, out of all the versions, that one's my favorite. It's my most favorite of my hated songs.
So it redeems it.
Let's continue on this pathway of omissions tonight as we begin to wrap up with only a couple.
Brought up in the chat by Naive Adventures is what about French songs?
Oh, well.
McGarry.
What about them, Naive Adventures?
Well, I guess that says it all right there. The deafening silence between four strong Anglos.
Petit Papa Noel, she also brings up in the chat.
All right.
I mean, I grew up Acadian. I don't know any. I can't think of any off the top of my head French songs.
Could you imagine
just the first Noel?
Could you imagine Bruce doing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but in French?
Yeah. What are the first lines in that song?
Well, first he would do the whole spiel. Est-ce que tout le monde est cette année? Oh, c'est pas trop, c'est pas trop.
Tabarnak, c'est Springsteen.
Yeah, that's someone
the
in the
audience member.
Clearly.
The Claus vient ici.
That man allegedly doesn't know that he's at the Bruce Springsteen.
No, because this is Bruce Springsteen showing up to French midnight mass.
At midnight mass.
and that guy, my guy, is surprised to see him. Mon Dieu, quand c'est Bruce Springsteen et il parle français.
How would you translate Santa Claus is Coming to Town in French? Would it be Père Noël vient bientôt?
Non, à la ville. Père Noël vient à la ville. Père Noël vient à la ville. Père Noël vient à la ville.
Magnifique.
All right, let's. Are there any other omissions? Thomas, do you have any omissions tonight?
Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses.
Great song. Great bleeping song. That might be that you just stole the show tonight with that one.
Yeah. So.
Well, I got one.
Yeah.
Christmas in Hollis with Run DMC.
Another great pick. Another great pick. What about John Bon Jovi, Backdoor Santa?
I was thinking about Clarence Carter's version of Backdoor Santa.
Which is better.
Which takes the whole idea of like, oh, he's coming in a different way than normal, but he doesn't mean it as an entry into a house.
Bon Jovi.
Dave, do you have any omissions?
Bon Jovi has a version of that song too.
Talked about it.
I don't like Bon Jovi.
Why not?
He's a Bruce Springsteen wannabe.
There's a song.
100%.
Here's a couple of omissions. There's a song by.
Did you Google this?
No.
Did the guy who doesn't know anything about Christmas songs Google this? Yes.
There's a song by Joel Gray called "I'm Gonna Put Some Glue Around the Christmas Tree, so Santa Claus will stick around all year." You know that one?
Is that Jennifer Gray's dad?
It's her son.
Joel Gray from Cabaret. Is that who we're talking about? The actor, the Academy Award-winning actor.
Then there's one by this one's a little.
Ignoring me.
This one's a little not safe for work. There's one by this artist Tiny Tim.
Oh, Tiny Tim.
Yeah, Santa's Claus has got the AIDS.
That's not.
You're saying that's an omission?
That's an omission.
Is that a real Tiny Tim song?
Yes. And then there's The Killers. They have a song called "Don't Shoot Me,
Is it a
Santa."
cover of Tiny Tim one?
No.
I believe local favorites, the McGarrigle sisters, have a few French Christmas songs.
And then, of course, there's the Pussycat Dolls with Santa Baby.
Well, that brings us to our time tonight. That's our Christmas music discussion. I did not anticipate that this would end with Dave dropping the Pussycat Dolls in here, but you know, the holiday season is full of surprises. Guys, any last words before we call it an evening?
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Well, Hanukkah's over. Folks, that's our show tonight. No show this coming Friday. We will be back next Monday. Remember, no show this Friday. We're back on Monday. Until then, I am James. That's Dave. That's Thomas. That's Jason. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and be well.
Bye, everybody.